हेलो एवरीवन। आज इस वीडियो में मैं द न्यूली इंट्रोड्यूस्ड फार्म बिल के बारे में बात करूंगी। इट्स इंट्रोडक्शन इटसेल्फ हैज़ कॉज्ड मच प्रोटेस्ट एंड अनरेस्ट एंड हेंस बिल की डिटेल्स जानना मस्ट है। सो बिल के डिटेल प्रोविजन, इंटेंडेड बेनिफिट्स, इशू सब इस वीडियो में देखेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। The new Farm Bill 2020 comes along with three main laws or the provision. The first one is the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Bill 2020, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Bill 2020, and the third one is the Essential Commodity Amendment Bill. The first one deals with opening up of market for farm produce. This by deregulation of APMC. APMC here means Agriculture Produce Marketing Committee, introduced as a market platform to sell farmers' produce. This provision provides alternate buyers like corporate entities, wholesalers, and NGOs to the seller, in case farmer here. Now, the fact to be noted is deregulation or liberalization of agricultural market platform was initiated post 1990 LPG reforms many a times. But the fact is, LPG reform least benefited agricultural sector. This because the much needed structural reforms in agriculture was not in place. The second one is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Service Bill. This second one calls for the much hyped contract farming introduction in the Indian farming system. The system, which has traditionally been subsistent in nature, contract farming simply is a contract between seller and buyer to buy their produce at a future date at the dealed price. This to provide better and secure income to farmers and fixing the reliable input or the raw material to the dealers in need. For example, companies or the food processing industries or the big private players. Now the third one is the Essential Commodity Amendment Bill. Essential Commodity Amendment Bill is an amendment to the old act, the Essential Commodity Act 1955, which was introduced to ensure the delivery of various essentials like food items, medicines, etc. in a genuine price so that hoarding or black marketing could not happen. The amendment in this bill limit the central government's intervention. This to be done in exceptional circumstances. That means central government can intervene, but exceptionally, like circumstances of natural hazards, pandemic. Also, this amendment brings limitation of the stocks only when there is 50% to 100% price rise over the past 5 years. So, this is the condition which limits the intervention of government in limiting the stock done by traders. This was also envisaged by Economic Survey 2019-20, which wanted the Essential Commodity Act to be repealed because it has not been able to do what it intended for, and moreover causes harm to genuine traders by unmindful raids being conducted. This affects the fluidity of stock or vegetable to be maintained and hence raises the price. So the act which was bring to lower the price and maintaining the delivery of that food item in a reliable genuine price was acting up in an opposite way and raising the price. Hence Economic Survey called for its repealment. Now talking of the intended benefits, this bill basically is doing a liberalization reform over the forward linkages of the agricultural sector. The forward linkages include logistics. Logistics means storage, cold store facilities, transport, etc. Market or mandi or the alternative buyers. But interestingly, this bill doesn't talks about reformment or addition of storage facilities or transport, but only of market or mandi. So by deregulating the market or the APMC, it tries to introduce competition in the market and hence efficiency and better price discovery. So its intended benefits, first one as written, is increasing availability of buyers for better price discovery. But as highlighted by the high-powered committee named Ashok Dalwai Committee, that only deregulation would not attract the buyers. For this to happen, there is a need for accessible and transparent marketing system, which due to several reasons doesn't exist in India. Now, the second intended benefit is incentivizing private investment and promotion of value addition. There has long been the issue in agriculture sector of the lack of private investment. The private here doesn't only mean corporate and private players, but also the individual tenants, cultivators, shareholders who constitute the majority in this field. They are neither incentivized nor have enough additional income to be capable to invest in the rented land. Hence, by giving better income and fixing contract deals, the bill intends to promote private investment and hence the value addition of the agriculture products. Third is export promotion, encouraging food processing and fluidity of stocks. Fluidity of stocks we have discussed while discussing the provision number 3, which talked about Essential Commodity Act amendment. Now the export one. Let's discuss. The Agricultural Export Policy 2018 intended to double farm export by 2022. This is to make farming as a beneficial and outward-looking career, and also doing away with the restrictions and control possessed by the Essential Commodity Act. It wanted to end the earlier Raid Raj, which harassed many traders in the name of ending black marketing. Now coming to the issues with the bill, the apprehensions are many. The much hyped term Ambaninization and Adaninization come out of this apprehensions only, though these terms are not wholly true and are based upon the less informed opinion. Anyway, the genuine apprehensions from the reforms come from the implementation side of it. The lack of proper institutional and legal structure to defend the case effectively and expeditiously is a major obstacle. The deteriorated infrastructure, in which the major one is lack of storage facility, would denigrate the desired benefit of this bill. Adding to this fact is the small and marginal farmers who do not have adequate marketable surplus to sell at the large scale. All this would lead to monopoly of some private players. So the first we can see here is monopoly of some private players. Now the second is tricking and manipulating the gullible and less literate farmers. The complexities and intricacies of any law, which are sometimes not even handled by the big informed elite corporates, could trick and manipulate gullible farmers. This, given the fact that Indians' tendency to see loophole always in the laws first. Less intervention by central government is a good idea, but the limit set by the law of 50 to 100% rise could shoot the price up heavily, and the conditions of 4 to 5 years is enough for the private players and traders to make huge profit at the cost of farmers' helplessness. And lastly, it would benefit big farmers much, who have capability, who have their produce to deal and sell. One thing I would like to clear in between is that there is no connection of repealment of MSP in this law, as MSP itself is not a law but a policy of the government. But MSP regime itself has its own problem, and when seen along with these laws, disadvantages seems dangerous. Now, lastly, I would like to share my opinion over whole of this issue. Firstly, the structural reforms are the dire need of agriculture sector. Some of these are the much discussed land reform, which hasn't happened yet, was initiated since independence. But the more practical way of looking at the reform is doing the irrigation, road, transport and storage infrastructural reforms, basically. Even if the bill comes as an initiative, it should add some institutional structure properly in place to make it happen orderly marketing functioning to assure proper implementation of this law which it intended for, and should take the diversity of various states in India. As India is a federal states, various states has their different farming system, various state has the different status of farmers and different income of that. Like Punjab, Haryana and UP's farmer are well placed in comparison to the farmers of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, etc. So these things should be taken in account. Like the repealment of APMC in Bihar by allowing private buyers was disastrous due to lack of infrastructure at the hand. And focusedly, debate and discussion of the government initiatives to amend the provision which goes against the intended beneficiaries should not happen in the streets. In other words, there should be a proper platform to debate and discuss, to be given for such protests to be followed, be it CAA, NRC, or the Farm Bill protest. The way forward could be expanding the existing schemes of the government to make a better marketplace like Grameen Haats, which is present in every panchayat and could become a platform where alternative buyer could come and sell. Thank you. If you like the video, please subscribe it.